Hey, hey, let's go ahead and get started with some messages from our spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. Okay, we got one card out. Let's see if anything else comes out. What do we got? Believe in the impossible. Some of you are feeling stuck right now, and just it's hard for you guys to see the forest through the trees. And I see that because we look at that forest. It can seem kind of dense, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So maybe some decisions need to be made. There's a fiery climax approaching. Maybe it's time for you to let something go. That's what the full moon represents, is letting things go. And maybe by the full moon in Aries, which is October. I know that sounds like a really long time, but you guys were literally almost halfway through the year. And because you have to understand that we had that new moon in Aries eclipse. It was an eclipse last month. So it might take for some of you until this full moon. For others of you, you're going to push through right now. You're not going to wait till October. You know, you might see the final in October around that full moon Aries eclipse. But it's like, you know what? You have to focus on the positive. And I know that that can be really hard when we can't see like the path ahead of us. It can feel dark. It can feel dark. I just hear that. Why so blue, Panda Bear? You know, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard that, but I might have just shown my age. Let's see what this is all about. So I just saw at the bottom of the deck, blessed. This is a blessing. So for some of you, this really is about needing to make a decision, cleaning something up, clearing the clutter. It's time for you to, you know, wipe something out of your life. Let it go. It doesn't matter what it is. Everybody's going to have a different story. I can sit here and go over, you know, what it possibly could be, but you already know what it is. You know, you have a deep knowing. Yeah. Spirit says you already know what it is. It's just, you know, we get anxiety, you know, because Aries can be like, oh, you know, frustration, right? Because it's red, it's ruled by Mars. Mars is about taking action, but it's like sometimes we have to make a decision. And you ever get that anxiety because you know you need to make a decision, but you haven't quite made the decision because you haven't spoke it out loud? It almost reminds me of Libra energy, which is the opposite of Aries. You know, oh my God, and right underneath that was Libra. You know, Libra can be very wishy-washy. I'm going to, I'm not. I'm going to, I'm not. And, you know, there's this constant like, should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Aries just says, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to act first, ask questions later, you know, and that's how Aries is always in the right place at the right time. If you're always being wishy-washy, you're going to continue to have that anxiety until you're Aries and you make the decision and you run off out the door with it. So, and then after you make the decision and you speak it out loud and you start taking those steps, you're like, oh God, like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? And you're like, why did I work myself up over this? Like, I could have just made this decision a long time ago. No, we just tend to beat ourselves up, I guess, in the process because we're, you know, sadistic like that. So yeah, you're in between worlds right now. You've got one foot in the old world, one foot in the new world. This really is about making these decisions and stepping through into what you believe is possible. But it's going to take you coming out of that fog and confusion. Like I said, that should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? Don't stop that again, you know, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. Like I'm getting these like old movies and old sayings, you know. And so 3, because we talked about, you know, communicating it out loud, starting the process, filing the papers, doing the thing, you know, get whatever you got to do to communicate. Get that business license, put out that resume, do that thing, you know, put in that application for that new place to live, you know, and whatever it is, you got one foot in it, but you still got another foot, like anchoring you down. And it's saying like, believe in yourself, communicate it, believe in it. You know, 3 is mercurial, but 3 is also connected to the Empress, you know, and the Empress is all about like, knowing her value, knowing her worth. She's about creativity. She's abundant. She's fertile, you know, fertile with new ideas. You know, you guys have been in, like, I feel like winter time was like this real serious period of like getting real with yourself, like about what needs to change and how certain things aren't working and what is, what's not, how you want to revamp certain things about your life. And that's what this is all about. And we have all planets direct until July. So you got time. I mean, yes, Pluto is retrograde, but he's more of an outer planet. Not that he doesn't, you know, but he's right now the reason why so many people are feeling, you know, because he's had his transit with Mars, his opposition to Mars, and now he's, you know, active with Venus, which Venus and Mars just both came out of retrograde. And so this is about like self-evaluation, internal evaluation, like what is stopping you? Where are you giving away your power? Where have you been giving away your power in these situations instead of taking the action that you're being guided to take? Yeah. And, you know, we have action and then we have flow. It's like once you take that action, things are just going to flow. The right people, the right places, the right things, because you're believing. You're believing that it's like you're not in a waiting, like in a holding pattern. You're in an alignment pattern. You got to align with what you are asking for. Okay? What else do we have here, Spirit, for the collective? You got to be in alignment of whatever it is that you're asking for. Yeah, and then look at that. You meet your treasure island. And again, more about just flowing with the universe, not trying to, you know, control how things need to happen or how you want them to happen. And at the bottom of the deck, we got peace. This is, you know, I see this egg here, right? And this is like the incubation period, something that you have been holding on to that has been incubating for quite some time, and it's ready to hatch. And whatever that is going to hatch, it's going to bring you to your treasure island. But you just have to be in the flow of the universe, not wishy-washy, but really telling the universe, okay, and being specific about what it is that you're asking for. You know, people like, maybe the problem is you're trying to align to the bare minimum, and the universe is trying to align you to something where you're working smarter, not harder. A place that can bring you peace, where it doesn't feel like you're going to work every day, where you're in alignment with your creativity. And when you love what you do, the money will come. You know, this isn't about chasing, it's about attracting. Attracting, you know, the abundance. And everybody's abundance is a different thing. Some people's abundance is how many people they have sitting around the dinner table. Other people, you know, they measure their, you know, self-worth based off of how many zeros they have, you know, in their bank account. You know, oh, I don't have this much money, so I'm worthless. You know, shit, like that's silly, because you yourself is worth more than gold. If you really truly believe in yourself and what you're doing, the money will come. So find peace in knowing that whatever you think is impossible, it says in the word impossible, I'm possible. I'm possible. So stop it with the negative self-talk. Make those decisions. Go after them head on. If that means you got to crack through the ceiling to get to where you want, don't be afraid to do that. Like, fly high. You see that dove right there is soaring. It doesn't look like it's trying to flap his wings. He's just soaring. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to soar further than you've ever soared before. And higher than you've ever. But again, we have those clouds. We have those clouds. See the clouds here? They're carrying over here. But then you have clear. It's all clear. Some of you are definitely stuck between the past and the future. you're absolutely stuck between the past and the future. Well, I've done this in the past, and that's good. Look at what has worked in the past. Look at what's not working from the past so that you can create the next steps of how you envision your life to be. This is not a punishment time. People are being so freaking hard on themselves right now. You know how many fucking phone calls I've gotten where, people are feeling really down and out and like they should be further along, and they're feeling frustrated and they're feeling overwhelmed. And it's like, listen, but this is the catalyst. It's going to catapult you and help you with the evolution process of where you're headed. Spend less time being frustrated and spend more time embracing where you are and the changes that can be made. So I absolutely see some endings, and I definitely see I want to read the Treasure Island. It's number 9. So 9 is also about perseverance, not giving up. It's funny because the overall energy is 23, and then we have the mirror of that with these two cards side by side, 32. And you want to see something even funnier? The card underneath this card, 23, is also 32. So we have 32, the mirror reflection. I'm almost getting to like the infinity symbol. It's like you were here and now you're here, And so it's, seeing through the reflection of the mirror. I'm getting something about seeing through the reflection of the mirror. See where you want to be, not what you want, like what you're actually seeing. Because I feel like your mind is playing tricks on you, and you're really being hard on yourself. And all you really got to do is make a decision, and then let the universe flow. Because until you make that decision, the universe can't get you everything, put everything into place until you're like sure about where you're going. So Treasure Island says the law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition. The results of positive thinking made manifest. Abundance appearing as if from nowhere. Financial gains and the sharings of good fortune. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance. And suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot. Because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent because they haven't been shown to you just yet. That's why you just need to sit and be in a peaceful position and just not letting the racket of the world just rock you. You just can't, right? Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others as treasure shared multiplies like magic. So, let's get some Rebel Unicorn cards. Spirit, I think we need a little bit of a funny because whoever it is needs... Some of you need to schedule a reading, okay? Definitely get together with me. I would love, love, love to go over this with you. And if you've gotten this far, please comment. Give me an emoji. Let me know if this reading resonates. Type 1111 if you would. And what do we have for the collective? What else do you want to say to the collective? Little piece of advice, little bit of a funny, not so funny. Step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer, get some. All right. What else do we have here, Spirit? Time to let go. We talked about this. Time to let go. Move the fuck on. And we've got be fucking grateful. We saw the blessed card earlier when I was shuffling. Be fucking grateful. Shit could be so much worse. And we've got one more card. You got a feeling you just can't shake? That little voice inside you? Listen to that shit. That little voice inside you that's trying to help you make that decision. That little voice, listen to that shit. And then it says, get some fucking sleep. You're being an ass because you're fucking tired, face to pillow now. Some of you guys are losing sleep over something, and I just feel like you just need to take a step back. And you know what? Go out and have some fun. Go out and do something. Get out in nature. Go do bird watching. I'm seeing bird watching because we've got a couple of different birds here. Go do some goat yoga, or, get out there and play with your puppy or your kitten, or go to a animal sanctuary. Go out in nature. Take a walk. Like, I was talking to somebody yesterday and I was saying, let things roll. Like, I told her to go surround herself in ducks, and she goes, that's really funny, I love going to this duck pond. And I said, yeah, so it can be like water off a duck's back. Anything that's going on right now is water off a duck's back. It's not as bad as what we're trying to make it out to be. You got a roof over your head, you got food on the table, then you have more than a lot of people. And I'm not here to make you feel guilty about what you do have, because at the end of the day, all you're focused on is what you don't have and trying to chase. You don't have to chase shit. If it's in alignment with you, if you're supposed to be doing something else, you're going to get the download. So just relax. Find peace. Give me a call. Schedule a session. Watch this video again. I love you guys all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in a personal reading, all my information's in the description box down below. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know how this reading resonates with you guys. Thank you to everyone who has sent me little donations. I do appreciate them, and it does motivate me to keep this channel going. Anyway, take care, you guys, and we'll chat again soon.